Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium with me, Bring It On. So I forgot this guy's a lorry driver, so let's go speak to him before we head to the Union. Or the Union protest, anyway. Don't particularly want to interact with this racist jerk again, but for the sake of the investigation and Joyce's cooperation, we will have to.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
You're a lorryman, right? What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
So I take it you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez.
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
He puffs on his cigarette. Then what are you still hanging around here for? Most other camioneurs have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Takes a long suck on his cigarette, appearing to savor the taste.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
If you were at the whirling, how do you know it was Kips who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road science, man.
If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
He spits on the ground. Wait, street vendor south of here? That guy's the lorry driver?
Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, alright? 100%.
He nods in a sagely manner, then another puff of that cigarette.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess we need to pay Sealing a visit then.
Guess so.
He grins, contented with himself. Alright, let's go talk to Sealing then. Put off our little protest visit a little longer.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Street vendor assures you. So Sealing, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives.
For a moment, he's unsure how to respond.
Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
He kisses his fingers. I actually don't like drugs.
That's very cool. I don't like drugs either. I only said I do because I didn't want to sound lame. Peer pressure.
He smiles. We're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating narcotics crimes like that? But I am not a lorry driver. I'm I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
He points to the goods.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
But you are a lorryman. Another driver has identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
He stops to think.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
He spreads his arms. So you forgot to tell me.
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Sealing, my source tells me you're the one transporting drugs for the Union.
No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that?
Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
Okay, if you don't know, then I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After we've called his boss.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
The vendor looks around, then lowers his voice.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
If you don't want to get into this mess, raise your voice. You have to give us a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
He shakes his head. Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
He points north.
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Point to the pale driver. Dazed out. Strange.
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
He snaps back to his usual self. Alright, let's go talk to the pale driver. I don't think it's her. Also, by the way, I think this guy, is it Tommy Lahome? Probably my favorite voice actor in the game so far. Along with Kim. Kim has a really good voice actor.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
She greets you. Alright, are you the lady driver?
Did you just call me a lady, Sheriff?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Sheriff. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
Her smile dissipates. So you're not the driver everyone is terrified of.
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Why are you scary to the people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
You said long haul. That's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along, as if to a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
Then who's the female driver I was told of?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other commoners sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
That's all I needed to know. Thanks.
Oh, Sim.
The woman stares at you, her mind elsewhere now, on other matters. Alright, well, we have a lead. We can ask about the lady, so let's go speak to... Tommy. Old Tommy boy. I'm trying to think of the women we've had interactions with so far. I mean, there's a woman we only spoke to the one time, who's currently smoking on the roof of the Whirling in Rags. There was that working class woman to the west. And the bookkeeper, of course, and Annette, Joyce.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
He shifts around, suddenly uncomfortable, then looks away. Why? Do you know something? What is it?
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
He bites his lip. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
It's true. We would of course a lie. But a kind heart is tricky.
Who is this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
He answers reluctantly.
Then she may have dyed it again.
When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
He looks you straight in the eye.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
Sorry, I just dragged my headphone across my microphone.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
He shakes his head.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Believe us, it really is.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
He says she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
He sighs. Hold on. Her mind.
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
The pain it was causing her.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Push Tommy, and it will break his heart and his spirit. don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
You're fine. I'll drop the matter for now. Find another way.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
He sighs. It's a big sigh of relief. Got any smokes on you?
Nope, don't smoke.
He notices there's a big lorry behind him.
Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
Guess I'll ask around then.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird.
He points towards the harbor. Alright, that's all for now. Bye. Yeah, I'm not going to push this guy. I like him too much. Now this guy, on the other hand, I have no problem breaking in two, so...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Fess up. Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He smirks. First, you knew Sealing didn't do it.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
He grins, a wide smile. Then why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
So who does? The lady driver?
No. He means la puta madre.
Lieutenant turns to the lorryman.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
For a moment, the lorryman is silent. Then he spits on the pavement. Cross your arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
He says, unsure where this is leading.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
He gets closer to him.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
Say nothing.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
He says.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
He looks at him.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
His eyes dart between you and the lieutenant.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Lieutenant points to the yard.
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends.
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
Alright, I have -2 to half-light for something, right? Or did we finish that research? I guess not. Only a 28% chance. I mean,
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
oh, let's roll the dice. We haven't, what, it's been 3 episodes now, haven't succeeded a single dice roll. Come on.
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
I am... Oh, I'm excited. Finally.
Time to turn up the volume.
Show me her lorry right freaking now. Lady driver's lorry. Where is it?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna screw you for the rest of my life. You understand?
Fucking... homo cop.
A globule of sweat gathers at his brow.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
He tries to wave you off.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
He waves south.
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
He turns to you. Yeah, screw this guy. Alright. I'm so happy I succeeded in a check finally. I mean, I guess eventually luck would be on my side. Is it this way? Oh no, it's over here. Okay. I see it.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
The lieutenant peeks inside. I try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too.
Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
How are we going to open this? Or get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Good idea.
I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
Alright, let's do this. Everything that's reducing my physical instrument. Let's have +1. How about my thoughts? Nope, should be good.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Alright, smash the window with the pry bar. It's basically a dice roll. Let's hope for the best.
With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar, a glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
Yeah, say welcome to Revachol window and smash it.
The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
Says the lieutenant. Sticks his hand in the window, like a common car thief, and then opens it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
The lieutenant leans closer to the radio and hums. Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
He flicks a switch on the radio.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Lieutenant repeats. But there was also that odd soul at the murder scene. So is she... Alright, so I had a theory. I forgot to mention it earlier. I think the woman who was raped that the Hardy Boys told us about killed the man, and then they all came together to protect her by all fessing up to the murder. That's what I think happened here. That's why Titus was so hesitant to talk about the woman, was because they're trying to protect her. I don't think they actually killed the guy at this point. I think they're just going with like the group, like, hey, you can't arrest all of us type of deal. The lieutenant repeats. The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
He likes where this is going.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. She's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret.
You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
He writes something down into his little notebook.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Periphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Lieutenant leans over your shoulder to examine the note, and then his thought trails off. I push in the pull-out toolbox.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
Close the door.
You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
He steps away from the lorry.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
Which seems to align with what Joyce was telling us about it. Because we were warned we didn't know just how dangerous this investigation was going to be.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
He nods. What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile.
Yes, well...
He doesn't say more.
Unimportant.
So it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Okay, debrief over?
Debrief over, after you.
He nods.
Apricot chewing gum scented one. August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you, in the dark, like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through your whole body. Immediately, you know that you've entered a completely different world.
+2 perception. Betrayal lingers everywhere. It's an interesting description for that thought. Alright, so we have a couple of, I guess, big steps to take care of in the next episode. Like speaking to Joyce, she should give us some more information about the Union, which is perfect. So I'd like to have that before I go and talk to the Union, in case I need anything that she tells me in conversation with, like, Everard Clare, for instance. So we'll start with Joyce in the next one, and then we'll confront the Hardy Boys once more, and then finally head to the Union. I'm hoping we still have enough time in the day to do all that. Either way, we are making progress, and I guess that's all that matters. I would like to get the body out of the tree, though. It's been hanging up for far too long. But we'll get there. Then at night, we can always talk to the smoker as well. So, plenty of leads, plenty to do. I'm going to call it here. Next episode, we'll speak to Joyce, and then the Hardy Boys, and then hopefully head to the Union if we don't get sidetracked again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.